Hey everyone, welcome back to Everyday AI Made Simple. Grab your drink of choice and let's dive into a new AI prompt. All right, in this video, we're going to look at using ChatGPT to be a learning coach for us. So in one of our previous videos, a couple of them actually, we've asked ChatGPT for recipes and meal planning. But what if you don't know how to cook? So today, we're going to ask ChatGPT to help us learn how to cook. And I have a prompt right here, so I'll just paste it in. Act as a learning coach. Create a self-study plan to master cooking in 30 days. Ask me any questions you have. So I'm telling it to play the role of a learning coach. I'm telling it what I want to master, the time frame I want to master it in, and I'm telling it to ask me if it has any questions before it starts putting that plan together. It's important to remember that you're going to get what you asked for. And if you made a vague request, you'll get a vague answer. Take a minute to write a clear prompt to save yourself some time. So let's see what happens. It says, "Perfect. I'd love to help you create a 30-day self-study plan to master cooking. To make it truly effective, I need to tailor it to your goals, skill level, and lifestyle. Here's a few quick questions before I design it." So, we've got several questions here. We'll start with the first ones. How would you describe your current cooking skill level? Beginner, intermediate, or confident home cook? So let's say beginner. What's your main goal for this 30-day plan? Let's go with learn to cook healthy meals. Do you want to focus on everyday meals or aim for restaurant-quality dishes? We're going to go with everyday meals. And I'm just going to copy that to paste it here. Okay. Then we've got how much time can you realistically spend each day on cooking or study? Let's say 1 hour. What kind of kitchen setup do you have? Basic or fairly complete? Let's say fairly complete. Do you have any dietary preferences or restrictions? Let's say gluten-free just to give it a restriction. What cuisines or foods do you love most? So let's go with Italian, comfort food, and let's say Mexican. Okay, next question. How do you like to learn? And this is really great that it asked this question, right? Because sometimes you want to learn by watching videos. Sometimes you like to read or follow guides. We're going to say step-by-step guides, just because I want to see what it gives us for that. And next we've got, would you like the plan to include weekly themes? I'm just going to say yes. That sounds like fun. All right, now we've answered all the questions. Let's see what it comes back with. So, it's confirming what I said, and now it's giving me my 30-day cooking mastery plan. Plan healthy everyday meals. Week 1, kitchen confidence and fundamentals. Day 1. Day 2. 3. Okay. Week 2. Week 3. Week 4. Then it says, would you like me to create detailed daily step-by-step recipes and tasks for week 1 to get started? I'm going to say yes and say, give me a shopping list and meal prep guide. We want everything it's offering. This is looking pretty thorough. It looks like ChatGPT is turning out to be a good cooking coach. So now we've got our week 1 day-by-day plan. It has learn how to stock a gluten-free kitchen. It's giving me the steps to do. Day 2 is about proper knife grip, chopping onions, carrots, celery. Practice cutting evenly and make a simple vegetable soup. Day 3, how heat changes texture and flavor. Day 4, cooking greens perfectly. Day 5, flavor and seasoning basics. Day 6, one-pan dinner. Day 7 is reflection and rest. So it looks like we get a day off from cooking. Woohoo! And then we've got a shopping list with our produce, protein, grains, and seasonings. This looks good. Then we have our meal prep guide. Do this on day 1 or 2. Now, I have to say this is a little disappointing. Do you know what I'm about to say? Can you guess? What we don't have here are actual recipes, right? So it's telling us what to do, but not how to do it. It's not giving us specific steps for the recipes. So I'm going to tell it to give me step-by-step instructions to use to complete each day's task. For example, how to make the stir-fry. This is a really good example of why you need to thoroughly review the response you get and ask for additional details when you don't get all the info you need. So it's thinking, it says it's creating step-by-step instructions. Then it says, creating step-by-step recipes, clarifying stir-fry details. It's doing a lot of thinking. We should get something good, something worth waiting for. I do like the meal prep guide and how it tells you about how to store food and then the extra quick tips like rotating sauces so that you use them, keeping healthy snacks ready. This is all good information, especially for somebody younger that's just starting out and, needs to know a little bit more about how to keep a kitchen and how to cook. All right, so here's our instructions. So this is much better. It's giving us actual recipes to follow for each of the days. Yeah, this is good, right? All right, so we have our meal plan. We have our instructions of what to do each day for what we're learning for the first week. We have our recipes. We have our shopping list. This is a complete guide to get you through that first week. And then what you could do is come back into your same chat here on ChatGPT at the end of week 1 and say, okay, now give me the same level of information for week 2. You would do this so that you continue getting this same type of information for the following weeks. We're going to go ahead and do week 2 now so that you can see what that looks like. And we can see it does in fact give us the same level of information, but just know you could do that a few days later. So week 2, it says, is flavor building. We'll take your basic skills and learn to layer flavors, cook simple sauces, and make balanced, cozy meals, all still gluten-free and healthy. So week 2, we've got our shopping list. We have our meal prep guide, and it tells us which days to do the planning on, day 8 or day 9. We have our daily plan with our step-by-step instructions, so this time it incorporated the instructions into the day's plan so that it didn't have to come back and give that to us again like how we had to ask for it on the first week. That means it learned and remembered what we wanted and just went ahead and gave it to us for week 2. So day 8 is basic tomato sauce, and the goal is to learn the foundation of Italian flavor. Tells us what equipment we need, what ingredients we need, and then the steps to take to cook the sauce. And day 9, we're making stock. Same thing, ingredients and steps and goals. Day 10, day 11, and day 12, day 13, day 14, and then a quick recap and learning checks. So this was great. This is a really good foundation. Again, you could come back in here at the beginning of week 3 and say, okay, now give me week 3's information. Or you could keep going and ask for it all at once. The reason I suggest you wait to get week 3 is because this is a really good foundation, but waiting to get the rest is helpful because you might find that there's something specific you want to try. Or maybe there's something you didn't like in week 1 or week 2. Or for whatever reason, you want to do something different after what you've learned in the first 2 weeks. So you want to ask it to show you in week 3 how to do a certain thing based on something you learned from week 1 or week 2. So at that point, when you're asking for week 3, you could say, give me week 3, and by the way, I'd like you to include a recipe for XYZ, whatever the specific thing it is that you want to learn. So I would suggest not getting everything right away, just because you might want to, come up with your own ideas around some of the recipes that you want to try. I hope that you found this helpful. Now go forth and cook. That's a wrap. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you next time on Everyday AI Made Simple.